Hey everybody, Nate here. Welcome back to Nasty Nate's Garage. We're going to do another unboxing video here for you. Alright, so we're back. I've done a couple videos now. Started out with the DeWalt drill, and was fairly impressed with that. That one came from AliExpress, shipped from China. Obvious Chinese knockoff, but man, it is feature rich, and if it wasn't for a couple of little things like the fonts being wrong on the back that says brushless motor, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. It's that good, and it was cheap. I mean, relatively speaking, I got it pre-tariffs, so I got a smoking deal on it. Also did a 1/4 inch impact driver that we just did the unboxing for a little bit ago, and fairly impressed with that one as well. I hate to say it, I am halfway contemplating maybe replacing my Ryobi stuff with the DeWalt. I just can't hit everything with it. Like I don't think they make a weed whacker for DeWalt. I could be wrong. I can look, but so it probably would still make sense for me to stick with the Ryobi. But anyway, enough side talk. Let's go ahead and dive in, and let's check out this 1/2 inch impact from AliExpress.com. All right, so we're here at the bench. This is what I got in the mail. Looks pretty similar to the other two. This one's actually got a box on the inside, so let's see what we got here. Looks like we got a brown box here. Yep. Alright, so pop her open and see what we got. Holy smokes. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. This is actually really cool. So, in the box, I've got the 1/2 inch impact. I've got another battery charger and another battery. I was not expecting these. I'm going to have to go back and look at this listing. So everything in this box, the 1/2 inch impact, the charger, and the battery. Let's see here. I want to say it was like 40 something. I think I'm going to do like 40 bucks. I just want to double check and confirm before I go and make outlandish statements such as that. Yeah. I paid $39. Oh, sorry. After tax, I paid $42.76 to my door. Gosh, this doesn't say it doesn't say it comes with a battery or a charger, and I guess it doesn't say it doesn't either. Oh, yeah, it is showing it that way. Okay, interesting. I wasn't expecting that, especially for $42.75 or $76, whatever it was. So, a nice looking charger here, and then here is the 1/2 inch impact. So go ahead and pop this battery off. So yeah, this is a DCF880. That is the if you guys can see that or not, that is the model of the 1/2 inch impact. So this one seems also pretty legit. I thought it had multiple speeds, but I guess not. I'll also look at that. So it is a single speed. It does come with a battery. I'm pretty shocked about that. It's obviously dead, so we're gonna have to charge that. But I got a freshie on here now, so we can go ahead and swap them out. So yeah, let's slap a battery on here and check it out. A little hard to say without actually having something to bust down, but I did the brakes on the wife's car a few weeks ago, and That's interesting. Alright, it works. Doesn't feel like it has a lot of power, but you know, I said the same thing about the other two when I first opened them too. I just don't think Oh, I'm not holding it. Okay, it's got a little more power than I thought. I thought it was holding it that whole time, but no, it's turning. Let's see here. You know, compare that to my Ryobi. Yeah, this one just feels stronger, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Could be. Well, we'll find out. I've been working on the Camaro, but so yeah, I'll go ahead and use this to break the wheels off the car and see how it works. I mean, I can't think of a better test for it than that, right? So stay tuned, and we'll see what we got here. Hey, everybody. All right, so we're going to start putting this DCF880 half-inch impact to the test. Best test I could come up with was busting down and reinstalling my wheels on my Camaro. These are conical lug nuts. They're a pain in the butt. So yeah, and I think how we'll test this is, you know, I'm going to see how well they do running at least the rears off right now. I don't have enough room on the right side to get the camera in there, so you're just going to have to trust me. But so yeah, we're going to go ahead, bust these off, and I'll tell you how it does. You know, I use my Ryobi, and I have a Craftsman half-inch impact floating around here somewhere too that I use quite a bit for not only busting down wheels, but also the leveling jacks on my campers. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Not the greatest start. Kind of tempted to go get the Ryobi just for comparison's sake. Yeah, so far, I mean, it's doing okay. I was kind of maybe expecting a little better out of it though. Oh, I was going to say too, the test on the back end is going to be, we will actually, after I put these back on with this, once I get new tires on them, I'll actually go around it with a torque wrench too and see how close it got to torque spec. Because, I mean, 99 times out of 100, I actually, 100 times out of 100, I do not torque my wheels. Never have been, never really done that. I've always trusted my impact to do the job right. So we'll see. Maybe for this last one, I'm going to go ahead and use the Ryobi just so we can get a little comparison sake. All right. So we're back for the fifth lug nut. We're going to go ahead and use my my Ryobi P261 half-inch impact driver. I do have some updates on this too, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's see how this does compared to that. Alright, maybe I was dogging a little too hard on the old DeWalt. Ryobi didn't do much better. So hats off to the DeWalt. That's actually, I'll take back what I said earlier and call it impressive. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side then. And oh, updates. I said I had an update. So when I initially opened this, I had said that this only has, okay, it does have two seats. It's just down here. I'm used to seeing it up here on most things. So on the little digitals down here, it does have high and low. Sorry. Low, high. So it does have 2 speeds. I was mistaken on that earlier. That was my one update. My one critique on it so far, and it's held, you know, this just showed me that I'm maybe being a little too harsh on it. But the one critique I do have on it is I don't like the anvil on here, and maybe I can get a new one for it. I don't know, but I like this style anvil better, where it actually has the little detent to hold your socket on. Just a personal preference for me, but that's my really only, I wouldn't even call it a complaint, just a observation of things that I would prefer to be a different way. So with that said, and so yeah, it didn't actually, the DeWalt did a lot better than I thought it was doing at the time. And man, there's a huge weight difference between these two. The DeWalt is so much lighter. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and pound out the other side. And then I'm going to go get some new rubber thrown on these. And we'll be back to put them on. I actually am going to check the front brakes on this as well. So it'll probably be a little bit of a commingling video with the work I'm doing on the Camaro right now too. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back to test the install, and like I said, we'll even throw a torque wrench on it too, and see how close it's getting it to spec. So, all right, there we go. Hey everybody, so we got good news. Got the drag radials back from getting mounted this afternoon. So I got my DCF880 here. I'm going to go ahead and throw these on, and then I got the torque wrench all set up at 100 foot-pounds, which is what is called for on this vehicle. I don't know if the conical lug nuts make a difference or not, but I couldn't find anything on that. So we're going to go with that 100 foot-pound number, and we'll see how it does. So yeah, I'll go ahead and run this wheel on, and we'll check them when we're done. Let me go pull the emergency or the parking brake and see if I can torque these up in the air. If I can't, we'll have to come back when it's on the ground. All right, 100 foot-pounds. Let's see what we got. See, my parking brake's holding really well, huh? We'll have to do it when it's back on the ground, I guess, unfortunately. So stay tuned, but it ran them in real good. No complaints there. All right, so we're on the right side with my DeWalt DCF880 half-inch impact driver. I told you guys I wasn't going to bring you over here, but I thought I would just try, and it's actually really tight. As you can see, I'm up against the table on one side. I can barely get my legs in here for the other, but we're going to go ahead and start running the lug nuts in on this side here, and we'll see how it does. For the record, since I took these off a few days ago, we are still on the same battery, still full. I've kind of started to notice, and
maybe you guys will even notice it in some of the other videos too. It's like, man, every time I think, ah, I found the thing. These things aren't, these DeWalt suck that I'm getting off AliExpress. And then every time I try to put it up against my Ryobi, it equals it at minimum or betters it. So my impression right now is that as long as you can still get these prices and you're looking for a cheap power tool, they're a good buy. You know, I have little things that I would change on all of them if I could. But with that said, it's just a different line of tool, and it's probably just how it's done. So, yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed with how well these tools have held up. You know, with the DeWalts, the thing that kind of got me curious about them in the beginning was that I have one DeWalt tool with one DeWalt charger and one DeWalt battery. So when I ordered that first drill, I didn't have to wait for that stuff. I already had it. And then when I kind of liked the drill a little bit, I ordered the next one. Then I ordered a couple extra batteries just to have, and then this one actually came with a battery too. So, and that's the same one I've been using this whole time out of the box. Put it on the charger, and then I've been running with it this whole time. So, battery life on these is pretty good. And that's actually one thing I will say versus my Ryobi's is amp hour to amp hour. I think this is superior on power usage. With that Ryobi, I would have probably, towards the end of building that gate, would have had to have put a different battery on there. Now, with that said, I don't have any Ryobi brand 6 amp hour batteries. They're all generic, not from AliExpress, but it's another one of the Chinese online stores. Honestly, I can't remember if it was Wish or Temu, but one of the two, probably Wish, because I've had them for a while. But let me go ahead and run these on, and then, like I said, we have to wait until I get this thing on the ground to go ahead and throw the torque wrench on and make sure they're good. But honestly, I think they're probably fine. Like I'm guessing they probably don't really. I'm guessing it's gonna pass, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'll go ahead and run these on, and we'll bring you up front. We're gonna check the brakes real quick on the front, real quick too. So I'll run those on and off real quick as well. So, all right, here we go. Alright, she's on there. We'll go ahead and get the DCF880 going on the left front here. I'm just kind of inspecting the brakes as part of the Camaro work I was doing. That video is a couple weeks ago. It was posted up, so go ahead and check that out. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and knock this off, and we'll see how it does. Right now, so I've used this for other things before this, but so far I've used this to knock off and reinstall both rear tires. In fact, the right rear I had to knock off and reinstall again. So really it's removed and installed 3 tires at this point instead of just 2. And we still got a full battery here. So yeah, here we go. This did a lot better on the fronts than the rears, I'm guessing, because these are a lot smaller of a tire. But yeah, so it ran these off really well. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the brakes here and bring it back when I go to run them back on. One side done. Wish me luck on the next. I have no idea how I'm going to contort myself into there to get this back on. I could barely get it off. So here we go. Wish me luck. I'm not even going to bring you over there because I don't need anybody laughing at me. All right. Got both sides back on. So now this thing has busted off and reinstalled 5 wheels because I had to take one off and do it twice. And honestly, it's performed flawlessly. It's done a really good job. You know, it did take 1 bar of battery, which being a lithium battery is probably a little bit more than 1 bar. I'm going to guess this thing would probably fall off pretty fast. But honestly, it did great. I think that I was probably a little premature in my initial assessment of it being meh. I think it outperformed my Ryobi, and I'm really impressed with it. Like I said, we'll still throw a torque wrench on these and see how it did, but I think it did pretty damn good. I'm impressed. Like I said, I don't know if these are real or fake or partially real. Like, for example, it says made in China. Okay. Yeah, because the one I have says made in the USA, and it didn't ship from the USA. I'd have to go back and look, but I thought this one did ship from the USA or from the US. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Again, like everything else I've showed so far. One thing I do want to apologize for is the beginning of the video. I've been playing with some different cameras. So anyway, I just want to apologize for the video quality at the beginning of this video. It was not to my standards, but I'll tell you what, the DCF880, that is a hell of a machine, and I am impressed with it. It does great. We'll still come in and we'll get you in here, and we'll we'll torque these wheels at the end. But in the meantime, I've got to keep working on this Camaro. So yeah, well, you've already seen that video, hopefully, if you're following the channel, all 19 of you so far. Thanks for subscribing, everybody. And yeah, we'll get this thing wrapped up. I'm gonna get back to work on the Camaro, and once this thing is on the ground, we'll throw a torque wrench on the wheels and see how it did. All right, so we're back. I got this thing back on the ground. I did check off camera, but we'll go ahead and show for you guys here too. Sorry if I get my butt in your face, but I'll come over here. So let's check first one. That one's good. All right, so I got all the wheels to at least torque spec, or all the lug nuts to torque spec. So yeah, I'll put the link for this part, or for this tool, and if for whatever reason I've run into it in the past where tools that I have bought and are no longer available, I will certainly seek out and find the next closest alternative. And I'll also double check and confirm where this shipped from too, and put it in the description for you. But honestly, this kicked ass. This was definitely a shockingly good impact. Potentially a DeWalt, maybe not, we don't know. But I've got this on AliExpress. So at least for the DeWalt stuff, yeah, I'd highly recommend all of them. Everything that I've bought so far has been really good. And did everything that my Ryobi stuff would do as good, and in some cases, like actually the impact I think did a little bit better than my Ryobi. And it's funny because my Ryobi actually did a little bit better than my old Craftsman I used to have. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and close her out. Hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed showing you this tool, and we'll be coming back soon with some more. Have a good night.